I am Ryoshi. When you come to the appointed place at the appointed time and meet some person, introduce yourself as Ryoshi. If they do the same, then you have met a special person. I have said from the beginning, I am a nobody, I am not important. The efforts to unmask my identity, even if successful, would be underwhelming. I am just some guy of no consequence tapping at a keyboard, and I am replaceable. I am Ryoshi. However, I do understand the consequence and scope of what I have seeded into motion. I have given you the gift of yourself. It is the process of self-actualization realized through the playing field of blockchain. Usually when we see some project, there is some CEO important guy and some tech guy and some roadmap, and hence someone plebs can bitch at and in their minds make accountable for the success or failings in their life and results of token purchases. With Shiba, we have from the beginning made very clear that no one is in charge. There is no man accountable, no person responsible, and no entity has the keys to the kingdom. Even as the Shiba token mooned, I got many messages like, Rio, you must be a billionaire now, haha, but the reality is still to this day I own 0 SHIB. Why? Well, if I did, then I can't be who I am, and for now I know that I have a role to play. I can't be pure and unbiased if I am worried about price up and down and taking profits. Don't worry, the great Shiba will reward me in other ways. I guess the end result of this is that you are responsible. When people ask me questions with expectations, I always send the question back to them. Okay, when are you going to do this thing that you just asked me? This method makes some uncomfortable, because of inherent pre-womb entitlement issues in which man does not take responsibility for themselves, rather they look to an outside source to give them boon, and if no boon, then to cast blame. Also, the greatest lover is later the greatest hater. Try not to love nor hate, just experience and do. Thankfully, there are some that had the ears to listen and heard the call and effect became Shiba with us. Some are named and some are unnamed and equally important. What matters is that we are united in the core of the vision, being Shiba as the pure actualization of a decentralized and perpetual community. My job is to defend the line and the brand. From the beginning, it is always the same. Shiba is Shiba. That is all. Anybody who comes and honors the Shiba walks equal with me. Anybody who comes and attempts to leech from the Shiba is a scammer and placed into exile. This is easy to know and then requires constant focus to continue. We have seen so many, but wait. Are these guys partnered with Shiba because they said they were? No, of course not. Shiba is Shiba. The only way someone is involved is if they claim Shiba, and if so, then they are that. So the reason I am writing this, perhaps philosophical, message is to prepare you, my loved ones, for the inevitable and present a vision of the future to carry forward as a decentralized community. 1. Shiba Swap. Shytoshi, yes, also a volunteer doing his best, has championed this cause to create a better swap platform on the Ethereum blockchain for the community. This has started as a fork of Sushi and added our own little twists and elements. It is a fully decentralized endeavor that will issue the Bone token. Supply starts at 0, and for those that read some FUD, don't worry about it, Shiba Swap is real, and if you don't believe me, then you are officially invited to opt out from this community. Easy. If you want to know specific questions, ask in the Discord where the devs live. Asking me when Shiba Swap will get you somewhere between an ignore, a GIF or a link, again, to the Discord. Again, I am just some guy and not directly involved in the dev, however they do keep me updated and I trust in the process. 2. Shiba L2/own blockchain, Shibarium. The line between an L2 and own blockchain is thin. What is the difference really between Matic L2 and BSC? Both run the EVM. Maybe it is just Twitter blah blah is the difference? Regardless, I don't care or mind, Shiba will have its own L2 soon. And no, we are not partnering with or have zero association with Matic as rumor bois tried to spread. They are way too centralized and will always be so. The Shiba L2, Shibarium, will actually use Bone as the primary pair token. We think, the reason we are using this instead of Shiba is that Bone will have a fair and zero start in which we will not have to be concerned about overarching whale bags, but if you are a Shiba or leash holder, don't worry, your Shiba holdings will be used to yield Bone at the launch of Shiba Swap. Who is going to build this? Well, I have already spoken to a very competent blockchain team who has volunteered to build and fully decentralize this for the Shiba ecosystem. Maybe they do it. If they do, then it is up to you to verify they properly decentralize it. If they don't, then maybe you can. There can never be a single source of failure or any admin, it must always be donated to the Shiba god of decentralization. 3. SHI, the global exchange of value for plebs. SHI is an algo stablecoin that always pegs to 1C. We imagine this will want to be launched after the Shibarium has established, but can also launch before on ETH network and bridge over, of course. The exact structure for SHI is still up for debate. The most direct way is to make it a synth, like done at UMA, SNX, or with DAI, in which some collateral is locked up in order to mint SHI that always pushes it back to 1C. The other way to go about it is to study the Frax model, which is fractional reserve and has a catcher coin to absorb the fluctuations in value to help maintain the peg. Which way is better, or is there another way? I am not sure. These are just starting seeds of ideas. Whatever it is, it needs to be built with care, not to rely on third-party oracles. They need to be built to be fully contained, perpetual and autonomous. My feeling about Chainlink is about the same as my feelings on Matic. The end goal is that SHI, operating both on ETH and the Shibarium, becomes a global stable currency that plebs across all countries are able to use as both a store of value and method of payment. This is a challenge that I don't know the exact answer for, but with the big brain power of the Shiba army, the answer will be revealed, built, donated to the community, and properly decentralized. If someone wants to put together a group with big brain power to work out the process of SHI, feel free to start a group and add me. For Shibarium financial ecosystem, in addition to SHI being added as a weighted pool pair on Curve on the ETH network, we expect a multitude of forks of the financial basis onto the Shibarium. This includes Aave, Curve, Compound, and of course ShibaSwap, to name a few. A fantastic and immutable bridge, of course, is critical to all this. We have seen what can be done with centralized teams like BSC and Matic pushing the L2 adoption, but my opinion is the very power that let them be such fast and early movers, all centralized, also erodes any sort of long-term and an eternal trust in these networks. I mean, if there is one man who can be arm-twisted to shut it down, then it is not immutable. The vision for the Shibarium is truly a distributed network. I am assuming it will use the EVM, but the decision will be made by the community. Whatever it is, it will need to be fully distributed. This is just the beginning. Blockchain belongs to us. As the Shiba army, we are an organic organism, greater than any one man, movement, or even nation, state. As our own movement, it is critical to implement the above ideas, in a proper way, to set the proper financial foundations for the future. My vision is the core ecosystem tokens SHIB, Leash, Bone, and Treat all performing their utility, while SHI slowly but surely becomes the immutable globalized exchange of value. Imagine a fish market vendor in Derbs accepting 250 SHI for his Dorado. Of course TX fees will be minimal to none when run on the Shibarium. I give you this end vision. Now build towards it. Love always. Ryoshi.